I'm sure there's a better chemist, but yeah. So you're gonna go to this coach and say what now?
I'm going to go to the D-League trials. I'm going to walk up to the head coach and I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm Keith Balan, and I'm here to make it to the NBA." And they're gonna shake their head, and they're gonna be like, "Okay." So I think everybody here is here to make it to the NBA. What makes you different? And the part was gonna make me different is that I'm 5'8" and white. The other part was gonna make me different is what they're gonna see out there in the court after that. Now they're gonna be like a little bit curious. I have to pique their curiosity, and once I pique their curiosity, I have to back it up with play, and that's what I'm training to do. That's what I know I can do. So, I need to pique their curiosity, and I need to play with passion and integrity, and show them that I'm a person as much as I'm a ball player that is of great value. And I need to convince them of that. So I have to be like in their face. Right? No holding back. Nothing too nice. They're used to these guys coming in there and kissing up a little bit to coaches and take me, coach. Put me in, coach. That's how it's gotta be. They're used to everybody, coddling a little bit. Not gonna happen. They might even kick me out of there. Hopefully not. I'm here to play, and you're a freaking idiot if you don't want me playing for you. You are dumber than dog shit if you don't want this guy playing for you. That's how I'm gonna come at him. I'm gonna be like, you don't know what you're doing if you don't want this guy playing for you. That's it.
Okay, man, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Now, come on, now crank this motherfucker up.
I've got to be more direct. I've got to be in their face. They have to notice me. I have to shock their intelligence. They're out there. They're used to what they're looking for, But I have to shock their mind a little bit, and then I have to back it up. I put the pressure on myself, right? I walk in there, I start talking all this, and they're gonna be like, "What the heck is this kid talking about?" But you can't tell me to go home at that point. Then you have to see me. Now you have to see me play. And not only you gotta see me play, you gotta see me play up against the guys that you are looking at. Because you're not looking at me. They're not looking at me. Now, in Springfield, they'll be looking at me. Why? Only because with that same attitude, with that same in-your-face attitude, I got myself inside the New Jersey Nets general manager's office. And I told him the same thing I just told this camera, that I'm somebody you want on your team. I'm somebody you should be looking at. And that I came to play. And that you didn't look at me before. Ability is one thing. A lot of people have ability. Not everybody wants it. Not everybody has the opportunity to be pushed that hard. Not everybody has the will. And not everybody knows how to direct themselves, that's for sure. So when you talk about successful athletes, you have to consider their support system. What was their support system like? You know, did they have a parent that was a professional athlete? Did they have a parent that took them from a very young age and nurtured them and challenged them? Did they have a parent that's aware of their child's abilities? You know, and I have not had that. I haven't had that. So now I'm my own keeper. You know, you grow up in your life, you realize that you have to parent yourself. And when I got to that point, I said, all right, I'm an athlete, and I want to make it in this world as an athlete, and I'm not gonna write myself off. I'm not gonna doubt myself anymore. It's been done enough, you know. There's no more doubting. There's only belief now. There's only belief, because I believe in myself. I've believed in other people. I believe in everybody that decides that they have a talent they're willing to explore, you know, abilities they're willing to nurture, and the time they're willing to put in, the blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they want to go. I know I'm about that in this life. And it just so happens that it's my turn to apply it to me. I've applied this mentality, I've applied this logic to other people. I've tried to be an inspiration in their life, for them to go forward, to reach for their goals. And I've been successful at doing that. But now it's my turn to work for myself and to accomplish my own mission. If somebody came to me and at 5 years old was like willing to communicate to a 5-year-old to say, do you want to devote your life to sport? The world is out there. You're going to do something for a living, right? You know, they come into your first grade, second grade classroom, and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? The kid says, I want to be a fireman. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a cook, a car dealer, or something. And a lot of people, a lot of kids, of course, are going to answer, I want to be a baseball player or something like this. But somebody comes in there and asks me at 5 years old in a way where they're offering this to me. They're saying, I'm going to be here with you. I'm going to push you. And you are going to devote your life to sport. And you are going to have a chance to be a professional. Are you on board? You know? My answer is yes. You know? And I knew I was fast. I knew I was always very fast. And that, you know, can be used in a lot of ways in sports. It's great speed. People get discounted when they're not of a certain height or they're not of a certain, you know, type. That's not good enough anymore. I have to count myself. I count to me. I know sports, and I know that I have what to give. And there's a difference between studying athletes and studying great athletes. If you study Michael Jordan, you'll understand Michael Jordan was doubted. He was. And he knew what he was worth. Alright? He knew what he was worth, and he was gonna show it. And he worked his butt off to make sure he showed it. But what Michael Jordan did, and what great athletes do, is they access every bit of their mental and physical abilities. They are students of the game. They understand that there's a multiple ways to impact the game. They will do what it takes to impact the game in every way possible. There is nothing that they don't want to be the best at out there. There's nothing they'll settle for not doing and not being. And it just so happens that I feel like that being 33 years old is actually a benefit to me, because not every kid that's even 25 right now understands how to be that way, because we have our generational dividers, you know, our generational gaps, and so not everybody knows how to be that type of person. You know, I feel like I came up at a time where, you know, the world was not so technologically advanced that we didn't understand that it was really just about character. We weren't so impacted by television and social media that we lost sight of what was real about ourselves. You know, we knew how to be serious, we knew when to be serious. And I feel like that is a benefit to any team, to have a player that is always there to represent that, you know, when it's time to be serious. You know, but if you study another, you know, great athlete like Peyton Manning, preparation is key. got to be prepared to be successful. And that's what I'm preparing to do right now. I'm preparing to be successful. A smaller player knows they have to work harder than the next guy. Has to work harder than the next guy. That's what I am doing. I have to work harder than the next guy. Those guys that play big, they think they can get away with it. They think they can get away with just being big. A smaller player knows that what they need to make up for. And so you're going to get a great work ethic. You're going to get a great teammate and somebody that works very hard, which every athlete should. They don't necessarily. And it has to come out on the court during a game. You know, you have to know how to apply it to that moment. Not every great player understands the moment. He understands, you know, how to play within the game, within the team dynamic, but also when to raise it up, when to raise up the level. And he knows he's worked hard enough in his tryouts, in his workouts. He's worked hard enough. It's in the tank. He knows it's in there. He works hard, he sweats hard, he gets tired throughout the game, but he knows what he's done. And he knows that the game is just, you know, an example of how hard he's worked off the court in practice and in his training.
But I myself called up the then New Jersey Net franchise and told them this over the phone. Left them constant voicemails about this. And I was given the chance to come in and speak to their general manager, Bobby Marks, and tell him how I felt about myself and what I would bring to the, you know, to the New Jersey Nets organization, now the Brooklyn Nets, of course. He actually gave me the time of day, which I totally appreciate. Here we are, August 2nd, and I have about 7 weeks left until I will begin D-League tryouts, which are open tryouts. They're meant to be. The NBA D-League is the minor league to the NBA these days, which is a new thing over the last couple of years. They developed a minor league. We're here in the Washington, D.C. area, which I will be trying out for. I'll be trying out for the Washington Wizards Developmental League affiliate. What's important is obviously how I play the game of basketball, not how I talk about it, not how I talk about my skills. What I would like to convey to anyone who might be watching my scout tape or watching my documentary is that I have the idea to combine every single one of my skills and to point it in the direction of a basketball court. Meaning that I'm going to take all of my physical abilities, which are plenty, but never enough. Would your physical abilities, I think, be enough to be a professional? You would have to, and especially if you're the underdog, you know, or undersized as I am, you would have to mean more than just that. You would have to be more than just your 5'8" stature or your speed and your quickness. You have to be inspirational. You have to be captivating. You have to be mature. I feel mature at this point in my life because I've taken the time to reflect on who I am, and once I did that, I realized I'm meant to be a professional athlete, and not at any level less than the highest. The highest level is where I belong. No minor leagues, no nothing. I belong at the highest level. I have to fight for that. I would not call it a dream. I have to fight for my reality. That's what I have to fight for. I have to fight for my reality. How do I get up every day and go about my life? Well, I know that at my age and what I have left in me, I want to wake up every day and be a professional athlete. I'll stop at nothing to make that happen. I think you want that. I think you want that on a team. I think that's a story worth telling. I think there's a lot of people on those teams out there that are so young that they're not even able to use their talents as well as they might because they're almost overwhelmed by the situation. They're overwhelmed by the moments. What they might not be used to is how to be a teammate, how to be a complementary player. They're so celebrated and so sought after growing up their whole lives, being this pedigree, being pushed, you know, by the people around them to be a great athlete. You know, maybe perhaps they are prepared to some degree. But when I see teams And I see franchises struggling to win. Years go by, decades go by where a team is unsuccessful. There's something missing, and it's a puzzle. We all know that. We watch sports every day, and we know that winning teams have a winning formula for success. It doesn't happen by accident. It's done well. It's done right. So when I talk about being a professional athlete, I'm not just talking about getting on a team. I'm talking about being a champion, accomplishing that highest level. I mean, in another set of circumstances, maybe I would just set out to be an inspirational speaker or a coach. But that's not the time of my life I'm in right now. I will go on to be a coach. I will go on to be an inspirational speaker. But I have it within my body and my mind to put it towards playing the game. And that's what I'm here to do. And I claim to be the next Jeremy Lin. You can believe me, you can doubt me, laugh at me, or you could cheer me on. It's up to you. 1, 2, syphilis. Syphilis.
What is that from?
That's from Saturday Night Live, and the Tom Hanks skit. I yelled the other night, and I sounded just like Tom Hanks when he was younger. I was like, that's awesome. That was awesome.
What is that? Whether you lean back or whether you lean forward.
You still hear me? Or you're not listening?
Alright, scoot your chair forward a little bit. Lean back and relax. Lean forward. And, because sometimes you talk and you might lean forward, so lean forward again. I mean, like relax though. Like if you're talking.
Check 1, 2, syphilis. Syphilis.
Alright, so Jeremy Lin?
Yes.